Welcome to Fordham University and the Atlantic 10 Women's Basketball Preseason Preview. We're pleased to be joined by ninth-year Fordham Women's Basketball head coach Stephanie Gately. Coach, must feel great coming off an A-10 championship.
Yeah, I mean, that was an exciting run, and, it seemed like the summer went fast. You kind of wanted to continue, but, it's time to get back to work now.
Is there any change coming off an A-10 title? Are there any challenges that surfaced to defending that crown?
I mean, I think when you're on top, it's harder to stay on top, to be honest, than getting there. And I think that's the challenge we've given the kids, is if we want to attain that next level, there's no let-ups. Every day at practice, we want to walk away saying we got better, so that when we start that season, November 5th at home against Notre Dame, we want to make sure that we're ready.
How are the newcomers faring? 3 players graduating and you lose them out of the program, but you bring new faces in. How are the new additions handling the transition?
I mean, overall doing well, and I'm pleased because most of the kids improved, which is your goal. In order for us to get better individually, we need to get better, and I think the kids did a great job of that. I think a couple of the freshmen will help us immediately. Eden's been a little hurt right now. Eden Johnson, she's been a little hurt right now, but between Anna and Sarah, I think they've been great contributors, and I think Valisi, she was named our most improved player in preseason, and she dropped about 20 pounds, and I think the experience playing with her national team has helped her a great deal.
Now, one of the ways to get better is a great non-conference schedule, and the highlight of the schedule will bring in Notre Dame to start the season. How excited is the team for a challenge like that?
I mean, I think they're really excited. I mean, I think it's hard to get teams of that caliber, obviously on your schedule, but I have a 40-year relationship with Muff, and then, obviously Beth, her assistant, when she was playing the ABL, lived with us for a little while. So a lot of it in the women's side is about friendships and relationships. Plus, they recruit nationally, so they had a couple kids from the New York area. Right now, our goal is, we start practice, and we need to get better every day. We're playing a very talented team, but last year, I didn't feel on paper we were the most talented team in the conference, but it doesn't necessarily come down to that. It comes down to chemistry and people willing to be committed.
And speaking of conference parity, there are always teams that make their way towards the top that maybe you don't expect. Are there any dark horse candidates to maybe be in Dayton come A-10 tournament time?
I mean, I think everybody's taken a step up. I mean, I have a great deal of respect for all the coaches in our conference. I mean, obviously VCU returns everybody, and so I think they'd be the kind of the go-to team. And obviously with Dayton hosting, I mean, they do an outstanding job. But, I think the bottom of the conference will get better. And I think, there's no easy game. And I think, like last year, I think it's going to be anybody's conference to win.
This may be a broad question to ask, but what's the next step for this program? 2 A-10 titles in the last 5 years. Where do you want to take this program moving forward?
I think we see it with the schedule. I mean, I think your goal as a coach is to put yourself in a position to get to the NCAA tournament either via winning your conference or, an at-large bid. And this schedule obviously puts us in that position. Obviously, you got to win some of those games to put yourself in that position. But, last year with us being a one-bid conference, I felt, and I think the rest of the coaches felt, we all needed to do our job and schedule appropriately so we can put ourselves in a position to put multiple teams in the NCAA tournament.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck this season.
Thanks. Go Rams.
Joined by 2 of the returning key pieces on the Fordham side, juniors Bree Kavanaugh, Kendall Jeremiah. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Defending A-10 champions, what have the challenges been like in the offseason?
I mean, just staying on top. I mean, I just know, for some of us, we're kind of, battling injuries a little bit, but, just staying on top and just knowing that, we're going to be the ones that's being hunted. So, repeating is going to be a challenge, but, I feel like, we're all up for it.
Yeah, and I think with our new players coming in, we just need to get them into the program, get them used to how things are done with our skills, get them used to us on the court and off the court as well.
And speaking of new additions, you lose 3 key players from this team, and then you add some new freshmen. How's the locker room been like? How's the team meshing together?
I think the team chemistry is coming along great. I mean, having Eden, Anna, Sarah, and even Ice, having the new additions, they definitely blend in well with our group. And not only that, but Anna and Sarah have been doing extremely well on the court. Eden's been battling injuries, but they've been confident and adding some great things, especially when it comes for season.
Yeah, because last year chemistry was a big thing for us, and maintaining it for this year will be a huge, a huge part of repeating again.
Both of you took individual steps forward last year. Bree becoming one of the leading scorers on the team, and then Kendall, whether it's defensively or from the perimeter. What did you both work on in the off season to kind of fine-tune your games?
I mean, just the same, just the same thing. Just doing workouts with coach, and doing more. I just know, coming into this year, focusing on leadership, because that's going to be a big key, especially losing, Mary and Lauren, our two captains, just coming in and focusing on how to, lead the team and step up in other ways other than just scoring or defense, and I feel like with leadership, the whole team will, be all one in terms of stepping across those lines.
Sorry. Just like knowing that everybody else in like USA is doing something as well to like get to that championship. If you do it as well, like you're doing something for the team and for yourself as well.
Do either you have a favorite part of the conference schedule this year, or non-conference schedule for that matter, because you scheduled some big opponents, Notre Dame right off the bat, and then a challenging A-10 season ahead?
I mean, I take it game by game, but I'm excited for every single game. Once it comes game time, it's like, you got this game, that, but we open up with Notre Dame, and, I'm really excited to see, how well we do and, areas where we need to improve. And I feel like, opening up with Notre Dame, that'll definitely be, key for us.
Kendall, can the team learn anything from the non-conference challenge? What have you taken away from that the last 2 years?
I feel like from my 2 years that each like schedule were challenging, and both of those schedules like help us towards like A-10 champions. Last year's schedule was pretty tough, but this year's like way tougher, so it's gonna prepare us well for the A-10 champs.
Guys, thanks for coming by. Good luck defending that title, and have a great season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fordham women's basketball opens its season on November 5th when they welcome Notre Dame to the Rose Hill Gym. Then right after the turn of the new year, it's off to Atlantic 10 play as St. Bonaventure makes its way to the Bronx. On Tuesday, March 3rd, 6 member campus site games to open the Atlantic 10 Championship. March 6th to March 8th, an Atlantic 10 champion will be crowned at Dayton.